the policy makers and also make policies that are conducive to the kind of business that I'm doing. You see now, so you end up having a business person having to also start campaigning for a political position. What he's trying to do is to secure his business. He has to be part of the policy makers. Why? Because the policy makers are not making it comfortable for him over there. So if politicians were wise, they would try by all means to make you comfortable so that you stop thinking of coming to their territory. They give you a place. We have given you a place. Go and build the biggest church. We are going to support you. If they say anything against you in the newspaper, we'll come after them. Why? You are trying to protect yourself by protecting the person. That is how you protect your positions. If there is a threat out there, make him comfortable over there. Don't even allow him to think into coming to join you. So most businessmen that you see ending up into politics, they were never born to be politicians. But they also want to participate. They've done a lot of investments. And how can you have somebody who has never invested anything in the economy making policies? What kind of politics do we have in Africa? There is no investment. He has never bought anything. There is no property. It is making business policies. What is that? He doesn't have any interest in the business sector. How much have you invested yourself into the economy that you would make sure that you don't lose? And a person with the most investment should be making business policies. That's it. How much have you put into the system? We give you the power. That's why in any organization, in all the corporates that you come across, policy makers are the stakeholders. Who holds the largest stake is the decision maker. This is what I would want to happen because he's got a lot of investment. Next time, after prayer and after serious reception of this kind of information, Africa should open its eyes. A person is never voted into power because he has done his campaign so well. It's not about the campaign. That's why I said at some point we need to have one place where we have everybody coming there. Whether you belong to this party or you belong to that party, you come into one roof, under one roof. Let's have every candidate present his vision. And how much do you have? How much do you have? Imagine, because what we should be doing actually, for everything to go right, it's wrong. Like I told you, you can't be driving a BMW if you're working for Mercedes. Are we together? Are we together? Why should a minister take his child out of this country for his education? Why should ministers' children be learning outside? Is that not a BMW being driven by a Mercedes-Benz salesperson? It's a sure sign that even you yourselves, you know that your educational system is not correct. If your children are going to be learning here, you are going to do everything to improve the systems here. What if every minister is going to be banking with the local banks? They would make policies. They would make policies because they've got an interest in the banking sector, because they've got their money in the local banks. Why do we transfer it outside? Am I talking to somebody here? Now, if a person doesn't have money, don't push people into influential positions. Don't just look at the size of the person. Don't look at the grammar. Look at the amount of money, because politics, it is all about production. Am I talking to somebody here? Am I talking to somebody here? I'm saying so because it's a way of protecting yourselves. When you are doing something and you feel like, somebody might just come and take over from us, what do? You look at the candidate, support the candidate so that he remains in his area. If you make his place uncomfortable, he will think of other places. Hello. You may be seated. You may be seated. We are not talking about $1 billion here. We are talking about the mindset. The way that they think. How do they think? Why are we afraid of tomorrow if we can create the tomorrow that we desire? Why? Listen, I'll give you some few points later on. Just imagine if a person like me, the only thing that I cannot hide is the prophetic ministry. But every other thing that I do, I have to have enough wisdom to hide it. Okay, it's not just the ability to do it, it's also the ability to hide it. That's why the prophet said to the widow, once you borrow vessels, get into your house, lock the door. And give people the product, not the process. Hide it. So because I've exposed only one aspect of my life, if I am to drive the most expensive car, people will start complaining. Why are they complaining? Are they forgetting that I'm not the president of this nation? I'm not a minister of this and that. Am I in charge of the affair of the people? There are people that you have voted into power. If I'm enjoying my money with my family, what's your problem there? I'll never make apologies of the money that I have. I worked for it and I work for it. If you really want to know the truth, You don't say what you feel like saying. Come and see. We don't just talk of something that does not exist. You come, we show it to you, then you will see. I'll give you some points very soon. I'll give you some points very, very, very soon. But I'm talking about being born. From the time that we started doing businesses, you know, my father taught me how to work and how to work properly and how to work smart. And still after doing all that, you act like a fool. Sit down, let me show you something. My God. Okay, look at this. Like I told you, there was a time when my father gave birth to me. I was born into an agrarian family, agriculture. And I said, Papa, by the grace of God that is here, we are going to become the best. And I remember at some point, there were different cotton buyers that were there in our rural place. And about 3 of them, big buying companies. And in that 1 year, we took some of the bales that we got, cotton bales, sold them to this particular buyer, and some to this one, and the rest to this one. 3 different buyers. And we became growers of the year in all those companies. After having dividing, in terms of the number of bales, the quality of the cotton. How can you become number 1 in terms of number, the quantity, after having dividing your harvest into 3 portions? But still, from there, if you go there and ask our neighbors, there was a rumor circulating and saying, you know, mdara uyo anonzi akaromba. And they would say, you know, Mr. Makandiwa, he has gone to the place and he took his son, and his son was actually cooked in a pot. And when he works in the field, he works like a demon. But I was the one that was working, and they were saying, you know what they do? After doing everything, they just do a ritual and they go home, they sleep, and the following day they come, the job is done. Listen, myself, I remember, let me be honest, there was a time when I went for a week without taking a bath. Not even switching off the tractor. Sitting on the tractor, just working. I would just stop and fill up the tank and go back into the field. If I'm to finish working, there are times when I would finish working, right? Maybe it's around 11 o'clock, and then I go home, take a bath, not a shower of course, take a bath, and or take a river. And the rest of the people in the village are already sleeping. I took a brush. On that tractor that I used to drive, I wrote a statement. Then I put the scripture there from Proverbs. I wrote it there. And in the morning, I'm the first person to wake up. I go back to the field, Pandaka Perera, where I left last night. There was no demon working in the field. Where I left, I'll start from there. And yet people out there who are lazy to work, busy talking. They are saying it's because of Zupambo, it's because of Mishonga, Panezidoma, Zinosakura. Africa, that's why we are poor. we don't take time to look into the very thing that is causing a person to prosper. We blame it on other mysterious spirits.